So, thanks everyone for coming on. Just press record, and we've got the beautiful Dan Furlong on today. Dan and I have been working together in the business now for a couple of years, and Dan does some amazing stuff with his charity work, and was really massive with the Dubai launch and everything else. Has really took over that. Unfortunately, Dubai's not gone quite according to plan, has it? But you know, it's you did so amazing with that. So. I'm going to literally hand you over to Dan. He's got some amazing stuff to tell you today. I'm really excited to hear about all this. And then at the end of the call, let me just mute everybody actually. Manage participants, mute all. Okay, and then let me unmute. Oh, hold on a minute. And then, where's everybody gone? Hold on a minute. Then I want to manage participants and unmute Dan. Okay, so yeah, those of you that are in the team, my team, I would like to say to you, if you stay on the end of this call, after Dan's finished, I'm going to announce my secret thing that me and Olivia have been working on for you guys, which is very exciting, coming up in January. So lots to look forward to on this call. So I'll hand you over to Dan, and I'm excited to hear what you've got to say, babe.
Cheers, Sal, and it's an absolute pleasure to be on your call. I absolutely love your team and what your team stands for, and I hope for the next sort of 18 minutes I can inspire you guys and do what it is that I do best, motivate. So what I want you to do is, if you've got a piece of paper in front of you, I just want you to write down my mantra, which is I can, I will, I must. And if you haven't got a piece of paper, just screenshot this slide right here, right now. And this call is going to take you on a journey. And the first part of the call, I'm going to tell you my story. The second part, I'm going to tell you about a 600-kilometer run that I'm doing through the country of Nepal to raise money for a charity that I've been involved with for a long time, called the Blink Now Foundation. And then the third part of the call is going to draw the parallels between ultra marathon runners and the presidential marketing directors in our business. So before I start public speaking with Juice Plus, I always adopt what I call my superhero position. And one of the reasons I do this is because I read a story recently. Read some research recently. It wasn't a story, it was some research. And it said, if you adopt a superhero position before you're about to deliver something important or go into maybe a meeting with a prospect or that job interview or whatever it is that means a lot to you, the chances of you being successful are much greater. And another reason why I adopt a superhero position is because before I ever speak, I always make sure that I get myself ready, because I always get myself extremely vulnerable. And I always whisper my mantra to myself: I can, I will, I must. And I share my scars so that I can be a lighthouse for anybody heading towards the same rocks that I hit. But I also share my scars to let you know that if I can break free from the things that were trapping me, then you guys certainly can as well. And I had a 20-year struggle with mental illness. From the age of 10 all the way through to the age of 30, I suffered with really severe suicidal OCD. And there is only one thing worse than growing up with OCD, and that's growing up not knowing that you've got it. And then especially getting confused by the media, who make fun about OCD and misinform everybody and give the impression that OCD is quirky. But let me tell you guys, it's far from quirky. I suffered from the side of OCD that's never spoken about, and that's the intrusive thoughts side of OCD. So from a 10-year-old boy, I was bullied, and the bullies were questioning my sexuality. And that was my first thing, questioning the intrusive thoughts would question my sexuality, even as young as 11 years old. I knew I was straight, but the bullies put the idea in my head that I might be gay, and I would go through this vicious circle like a hamster in a wheel, a horror movie that I could never get out of. Just keep questioning myself, questioning my morals, questioning my beliefs, questioning everything, and it just got progressively worse. And it went from something as innocent as that to getting really horrible people stuck in my head, really violent, nasty people stuck in my head, and I just couldn't get them out, and they lived rent free in my head for 20 years. And it was painful, it was horrible, it was debilitating, it was paralyzing. It took me to the edge of many balconies, but thankfully I just never gave into it. I had a beautiful, loving family, and although I didn't want to live, I didn't want to die either, and I just kept fighting every single day. My first go-to thing was rugby, so thankfully I got into a rugby team, both at school and at club. And when I was playing rugby, or when I was around the rugby lads, my OCD would go away. It would give me temporarily, it would disappear. But as soon as I finished playing rugby, it would come back with a real horrible force of nature, and it would seem worse than it did before I started playing. My first go-to thing was rugby. My second go-to thing was alcohol, which I picked up at 15, and then I picked up Class A drugs at 18. And then I would battle the disease of alcoholism and addiction, as well as having OCD, all the way through to I was 30 years old. And that was just like putting petrol on a fire. I've been to some really dark places with alcoholism and addiction as well. But thankfully, I've broken free from it. And you don't often see, you often see before and after pictures of Juice Plus, but you don't often see before and after pictures like this one. And you know, they say that you're the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. On the picture on the left hand side, I just overdosed on drugs, and I'd been drinking heavily. It was a New Year's Eve, and the people that I was partying with, they just left me there to die, and they wrote all over me. And thank God that my brother found me, and when my brother found me, he did what he needed to do to save me. And I need never forget that evening, which was just one of many evenings where I was playing Russian roulette with my life. And then the after picture is a guy sprinting towards the finish line at the Parachute Regiment 10-mile endurance tab, which was raising money for the Parachute Regiment's Paras 10 charity. And it's absolutely incredible that one can go from the state in the left to the extreme athlete that is on the right, who's guy on the left is mentally weak, and then the guy on the right is just mentally strong. And I have to thank the 12-step fellowships of Cocaine Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous for getting me free from the disease of addiction. And I had to deal with the disease of addiction first. I'm now 4.5 years clean and sober. I speak for the Amy Winehouse Foundation, and I help a lot of guys who alcoholics and addicts, and I help them get clean and sober as well. And it was the 12-step fellowship that pointed me towards going to see somebody about my OCD. And I met a doctor called Dr. Monica, who was a psychologist and not a psychiatrist. And through no medication at all, but through things like education, CBT, exposure therapy, and positive psychology, she set me free from my OCD. She allowed me to turn the tables on my OCD. And although it still rears its ugly head every now and again, I'm in complete control of it, and it doesn't dominate my life anymore. And when I started to study OCD, and I started to learn about OCD and learn that I wasn't alone, and there was 1 million people in the UK alone suffering from what I suffered from, it's just a horrible, nasty form of fear. And those 2 little words, what if? And we give so much power to the what if questions that it can literally kill us. And I think that this is the truth with Juice Plus as well, especially when we join the new business. We say, you always hear people saying, oh, what if my husband doesn't agree? What if I lose some friends on Facebook? What if people make fun of me? All of these crazy, crazy what ifs that stop you from being the person that you want to be. My challenge to you is next year to get rid of the what ifs and replace them with my mantra, which is I can, I will, I must. I can beat my OCD, I will beat my OCD, and I must beat my OCD. So 2013 was when I was getting clean and sober, and I'd been aware of this incredible young lady called Maggie Doyne. And if you're a mum, or you're someone who's big into female empowerment, or you just generally need some motivation from a woman, then I would go online and find as much information on this lady as you possibly can. Guys, I've met some pretty inspirational people in my time, and she is up there in the top 5 that I've ever had the joy of meeting and working with. So at the age of 19, Maggie turned down, and she's American, she turned down a scholarship to an Ivy League school, which is the equivalent of Cambridge or Oxford, to go and work in a children's care home. And she went across to Nepal at the age of 19. She fell in love with the children of Nepal, and she made a decision at 19 that she was going to devote her life to educating and caring for these children. And at the age of 19, she sponsored her first child to go to a local school. And then at the age of 20, she adopted her first child. And now she's the mother of 55 orphans, which live with her at the Coppola Valley Children's Home in Western Nepal. She's the CEO of the Coppola Valley School, which educates 450 kids from the lowest caste system. That basically means that these kids are untouchables in everyone else's eyes, but Maggie educates them. And in 2015, at the age of 30, she got recognised for the 10 years of selflessness, and she got made CNN Hero of the Year. So she's actually an incredible, incredible young lady. And I just got to spend a couple of days with Maggie here in New Jersey. So I took my first trip to go and see Maggie and to go and visit the orphanage in 2013. And again, it's a trip that whenever you go to the third world, it will change you forever. It will give you a new way of looking at the world that we live. It will touch your heart, and it will draw out every single bit of passion that you've got. And my journey has been, I've been 7 times now to the orphanage. And each time I go back, I get a little bit healthier, because I've always been fit, but I've not always been healthy. And actually, the kids used to take the piss out of me a little bit by saying how unhealthy I actually was. So they couldn't believe things like that I didn't used to drink a lot of water and stuff like that. So they've seen my Juice Plus journey. They've been a part of my Juice Plus journey. They do workout videos with me when I'm out there. They follow along on social media. They do Zumba. They absolutely love it, and they've been a big part of my recovery as well. So I'm completely passionate about this project. And over the last couple of years, I've done several fundraisers where I use my skills, which is that I'm fit, and I put my body on the line to raise money and awareness for the charity. But at Birmingham, JP Birmingham 2017, I made a decision there and then. I wrote on the board where everybody's signing the board that I was going to run 600 kilometers from the capital city of Nepal through the Himalayan mountains to Coppola Valley, where the orphanage is situated. I made a decision at Birmingham, and guess what, guys? In January, it's about to happen. So it's taken a long time to get planned. And one of the things that we're doing is that we're raising money so that we can provide a school bus to Maggie and the kids for the new high school that is currently under construction. You know, some of these kids walk 2 hours a day just to get the education that Maggie provides, and things that we just take for granted, you know, that they desperately need. So of course, running 600 kilometers, you need not only to be fit, but more importantly, you need to be healthy. And one of the things that I do, which is different to most athletes, is I fuel my body to repair instead of perform. And someone like me who's an endurance runner or an ultra runner, when you're doing endurance activities, you put your body under a lot of oxidative stress and you get a lot of free radical damage. Now, the antioxidants in the Juice Plus premium capsules reduce the negative effects of the oxidative stress. So the capsules are like an insurance policy for me, knowing that I'm still getting goodness into my system and the negative effects are being reduced. So I actually double up now on my capsules, and I've been doubled up for a while. The next thing I do is I use the Juice Plus soups. So before I go out on one of my training runs, I mix up some Juice Plus soup with some cold water, and then I stick it in my pack. And as soon as I finished, I get the Juice Plus soups into me. And one of the reasons why I choose the soups is because it's got 19 grams of plant-based protein, and it's also got salt and fiber, which I want to get in there as well. So the important thing, anybody who finishes exercise, is to get some protein into you, get your Juice Plus into you within 20 minutes of finishing your exercise. Otherwise, your body will start to attack the muscle and not the fat. So little top tip there for you. And when I'm in the pool as well, I'm taking the complete over with me, and I'll be making smoothies with the fruit that I can gather along the journey. So it's not just about the products. The Juice Plus company, just an incredible company, and have massively got behind me and got behind this mission. And I'm going to post or maybe Sally can post the link into the chat window, blinknow.org/Nepal 600. And every donation that is made by Juice Plus franchise partners, Dan Holzman, our CEO of Europe and Vice President of Juice Plus, he's going to match every single donation. So if you're in the UK and you give £10, Dan Holzman will also give £10. In the States, $100, he'll give $100. The Aussies have been getting involved, and he'll match what the Aussies do. Just an incredible guy. And the second way that you can get involved is I challenge you to do this with your customers. So when I'm in Nepal, I'm going to be running 30 to 50 kilometers every single day. So in the month of January, I challenge you to do either a 10K walk or a 10K run with your customers. If you've got some customers local, get them engaged, get them doing it with this hashtag, and try and raise a little bit of money at the same time. And it's a great way of holding your customers accountable, because we know that many people give up on their New Year's resolutions before the end of the second week of January. And it's also holds yourself accountable as well, because it's important that we show our customers that we're being the product of the product, and that we're doing something for charity as well. And the third thing that you can do, which I've been doing with different people, is you can interview me on Facebook Live. So if you want to do a joint broadcast and really get stuck into what it is that I'm doing and how Juice Plus products in particular are helping me, then that's something that we can do. And guys, follow along on Instagram and on Facebook, and I'll chuck my details in at the end of the call. So moving on to the final part of the call now, which is really where I need you to sit up and listen up. And I've been blessed, and I've been lucky enough to travel the world with Juice Plus. And I've been to the States, I've been to Dubai, I've been to obviously Europe, and everywhere you go, people always say that the journey to national marketing director or the journey to presidential marketing director is a marathon and not a sprint. And I always disagree with them, because I believe it's an ultra marathon, right? There's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this world who run marathons. There are not thousands and thousands and thousands of people who run ultra marathons. And that's exactly the same as PMDs, right? They're a very elite bunch of people, and we're going to look at those people now, and we're going to compare them to ultra marathon runners. But if you want to get to the top of this business and you want to hit that position of presidential marketing director, you need to give yourselves a 2 to 5 year plan. This is definitely not a get rich quick scheme, guys. You need to chip away at it every single day, just like I've been chipping away out there every single day on the road, getting the miles in the legs. And if you build the right structure in your business, over 2 to 5 years, you cannot fail to get to the end. And when I'm in Nepal, I'm taking with me an amazing crew. So my dad is coming along with me. I've got an ex-US Marine officer who's a combat paramedic. He's coming with me to make sure that I stay fit and healthy. I've got a masseuse. I've got drivers. I've got a fantastic crew. And my briefing to the crew is, I'll do the running. You just make sure I get to the end. And that is exactly the same in Juice Plus. From Jay Martin to Dan Holzman to Simon and Susie, all the way through to Sally. You've got some amazing people around you, and they will support you, and they will do anything they can to get you to where you want to get to. But you need to tell them where you want to go. Tell them where you go and ask them for their help. Put people in front of them, and they will get you there. So trust your crew is something that I do, and something that I challenge you to do as well. The next thing, I think that, you know, when I think about it, I'm probably involved, directly or indirectly involved, with about 10 charities. And I do what I can for them. And I would love to do this run, and I would love to contribute to every single charity that I'm involved with. But when I really, really drill it down, my passion is the Coppola Valley Children's Home and School. My passion are these kids. So I can't spread myself too thin. And that is exactly the same with Juice Plus. We can't spread ourselves too thin. I've made the mistake for 2 years trying to help as many different people as I want to help. But what I want to do now is really pinpoint a set of customers that I can really, really help. And I've just about to release my first book called Male Anxiety and Depression, and it's going to be launched on Instagram. So it's going to be called MAD, and I've developed a holistic healing program of action for men in the UK who are suffering with anxiety and depression. It's going to take the suicide epidemic head on, and it's also going to reduce the amount of people taking antidepressants as well. And guess what? Juice Plus premium capsules and the omegas are going to be a big, big part of my plan. And I think it was Sinead Kavanagh who said to me almost 2 years ago that your best customer is you. But guess what stopped me from getting to this point sooner? Fear, right? So punch fear in the face. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. You know, face everything and reap reward. The next characteristic that ultramarathon runners have, and our presidential marketing directors have, 110%, is that they never, ever quit. And guys, Sally mentioned Dubai, you know, and I know what this business is like. We can try so hard sometimes and still fail. And when we do, it's painful, and it causes sadness, and it causes disappointment. I've been there, you know, but I don't think our characters are judged by when the business is going well. I don't think we should be judged in months like January, you know. What I want to know is, what are we doing when our backs are firmly up against the wall? You know, so no matter how great the setback, no matter how great the failure, you just never, ever give up. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off, and you say, tomorrow is a new day. I'm going to go again. And when I'm in Nepal, the pain might last a day, the pain might last a week, it might last the whole bloody month that I'm running. But if I quit, the pain will last forever. Our struggles, like my 20-year struggle with OCD, is definitely my greatest asset. And if you're struggling right now and you break through it and you get to where you want to be, the success will be so much sweeter. And thank God the people that went before us, you know, didn't quit. What would have happened if John Holowati would have quit when his dad was telling him to jack it in? And I think the next characteristic about ultramarathon runners and about presidential marketing directors is that they have complete belief in themselves. And I want you to believe in yourselves. I have visioned finishing the 600 kilometers. I've already visioned running into the orphanage, which is the finishing line. I've visioned seeing the people's smiles as I run through the village. I've visioned every bit of happiness that I can vision. But I've also channeled in all of the hard times, all of the struggles, all of the mornings where I don't want to get out of bed, or I've got blisters on my feet and I just can't put the weight on them, or going uphill and feels like I'm rolling downhill. But guys, what I want you to do is make sure that next year you remember that you should never be afraid of doing something big. The bigger the risk, the higher the reward. And 110%, you need to own it. All right. Nobody is going to do this for you. You might have to sacrifice a few things. You might have to give up watching EastEnders. You might need to sacrifice going out to dinner on the weekend. You might even need to sacrifice a bit of sleep. You know, you might need to get up half an hour early every single day so that you can get your business done. We need to take advantage of the opportunity, because in the UK, I don't see any other opportunity like this right now. And I don't see opportunities coming thick and fast in the next 5 years either. So we need to take advantage of the opportunity and take advantage of the window of the opportunity. In 5 years' time, I might not be able to run 600 kilometers. All right. So the time really is now. We need to move. And going back, just in closing now, just going back to my mantra, I can, I will, I must. I want you guys to speak life into it. Whatever it is that is holding you back right now, just say the mantra and realize that you can get through this. Some things, guys, you just have to outlast. You know, I outlasted a 20-year suicidal struggle with OCD. I outlasted addiction. You know, I can get through this, and you just have to look deep down inside yourselves and say that you can do it. So tomorrow morning, go to that mirror in your bathroom, pull your superhero position, whisper, I can, I will, I must, and go out and make the rest of your life the best of your life. And yeah, that's me. That's my time. I'll pass back to Sally, and I'll happily answer any questions if you guys want. And thank you very much.
Oh my God, Dan, I literally want to like stand up and give you a big round of applause. I don't know about anybody else. I'm like, yay! Honestly, that was just amazing. Thank you so much. And do you know what? Even I needed to hear a lot of the things that you said today. I think you can get so like bogged down with the mundanities of life, and you forget the bigger picture. And like I said to you the other day, I wish that my friend had a role model like you, because I think the work that you're doing is very niche, and it is very much needed, especially at this time of year, and especially in men. To have a guy like you that's battled everything that you've battled through and come out the other side, and is now sort of an advocate and an ambassador for promoting health and good mental health. There's just not enough guys like you out there, really. So I just can't thank you enough for this call, because it was absolutely brilliant. So I do want to strongly advise any of my girls that are on today, please do donate to the cause if you can. I certainly will be. I will definitely be doing a live interview with you, Dan, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely fine, yeah.
Have you got anything else you wanted to say? Has anyone got any questions? Said that twice. Amazing, inspirational, and wow, some great comments there for you, babe. By the way, in your presentation it says blink oh now. So you might want to change that.
Does it? I thought.
Yeah, I suddenly thought that. I was like, I'm sure that's meant to say blink now.
Oh yeah, I struggle with dyslexia as well.
At least you battled that, and you put through a better presentation than I've ever put together. So you know.
Yeah, I don't know what I did in a previous life, but I must have just got off somehow. Yeah.
Honestly, I think if everyone can just take anything from that, we're not all going to be ultra marathon runners. In the sense of actually going out and running, I'm not entirely sure I could do. I'm definitely up for giving this 10k walk a go, though. I'm not entirely sure I could run it yet, but with
just do what you can do, and like with the donations and that, no, all of the money is going to the kids, because we're self-funding the trip, so none of the money is getting eaten up by the trip itself. And Dan, as I said,
Yeah.
a £5 donation is a £10 donation. That £10 might buy a school book that goes on to educate the child to break free from where they are right now and go on to better things. So no donation is too small.
Fran's training for her next 10K, so she'll donate. Maybe on next 10K you could do as a fundraiser for this as well, Fran. That'd be amazing. I'm definitely going to do like a 10K. I mean, maybe we could even do it sort of nationally, or maybe get together some of us, some of those that are perhaps not as healthy, not to say healthy, but has got chronic illnesses and stuff. We could do it slowly, you know, maybe do a 10K walk over 2 days or something like that, you know. It doesn't all have to be all at once. But thank you so much for that, Dan. That's honestly been incredible.
Yeah, you're welcome. And if everybody can screenshot and make a post about the call and just put the link in their post and just spread awareness, that'd be fantastic. Yeah.
Absolutely. If everyone screenshots, posts the donation link, and something that you've perhaps taken from the call today, something like, there's loads of little nuggets of information that I've taken that I'm just going to go away and contemplate and everything. So I'm not going to go on to my exciting news that I have for you guys. I'll do another Zoom after this. I'm going to end this one. Thank you very much, Dan. And honestly, I need you to talk more often, because you're just amazing. I need to like catch up with you on a more regular basis than we do. Oh, can't hear you now. You disappeared. I can't hear you.
All right, lovely. Cheers, Sal.
All right, darling. Take care. Have a lovely evening. Thanks for your time, babe. Bye.